Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Pacific Grand Western Railway. I know it's been a while since I made a video, still processing through hospital and doctors and whatever, waiting on the test now when I came back. But today I'm going to do a bit of a what's on my workbench video, show you what's happening on the workbench, what projects I've been working on, along with give you a few tips for some what you can do with some used locomotives and equipment. So with that, let's get into it. And let me adjust the camera and we'll get into this video. To start with, I was looking on YouTube and watching V12 Productions. He was doing drone videos and teaching a lot of stuff for real railways and the derailments and whatever. He was flying over someplace down in Atlanta, and it showed North Fork and Western training facility, and they had training facility set up where they had back end of a GE locomotive with the other end of a back end of a EMD locomotive drafted together, sitting on blocks for training their mechanics and for training, etc. So having a spare Bachmann GE unit that had the cab smashed up, but the back end was pretty good, I decided to chop it in half and save the back end for a thing. I'm now looking for a Bachmann EMD. It's got a good back end and steps. I added a couple of lift bar and factory the little steps on the back of it, brass handrails on the back of it. I am going to add a dummy coupler box to it, but first I got to get the other piece to go with it. Then I'll make up a stand and put it on. Then I'll add the dummy couplers to each end, and put the handrails on it and down the side of it like they have it. So I'm showing you this. So if anybody, you got a used locomotive that's maybe smashed up or broken, that's got a good back end, that it maybe your thing, or just one you want to retire. Now you've got DCC or something, you want to get rid of some of your older junk locomotives. Well, rather than just throwing them out and getting rid of them, you can do this. You can chop them up and draft them together and make training units out of them or thing. So rather than throw stuff out, go online and see what you can find around, what you can do to use the parts up on it, rather than scrap a locomotive. And again, online, I discovered that Canadian National had theirs is a wide nose, but again, they made a front end of a locomotive simulator for simulating locomotives for training their drivers and engineers. And again, but they made chopped the locomotive up, took the front off it, put it on stands, and made a train simulator out of it for training locomotives. But they used an EMD wide nose cab. Well, this my particular railway, we don't have very many wide nose diesels that we can afford to scrap. So again, I used what I had on hand. So I used this old, I don't know, I think it was a Model Power or one of those Model Power Cox GP18s. I cut down. And I I made the handrails up, put the handrails up the back, like they have on theirs. Cop it set up the same way, just a different front. I do have the windows, everything for it. I've just been waiting until I get it painted. Then I'll put the windows in. I have been contemplating whether I should put a light in it or not. That's on. But I made base stand everything up for it, and you can sit down. Eventually, it'll be painted up into my Pacific Grand Western colors, and I'll have a training simulator for in the yard to go with these two. So it'll be it for our training facility. So again, ladies and gentlemen, maybe you have a smashed up locomotive, broken. Maybe the back end's broken, or just an old cheap toy-like locomotive that you don't want anymore or don't need. Rather than throw it out, look around on the internet. Go on YouTube or the internet or anywhere you can find and see what the real railways have done with them and thing. And you can make yourself a train simulator. Maybe you have a wide nose. You can make one to match CN. Or do like I did here. use what you got to make the unit. I mean, every railway, they always have what they don't say they make the same thing. They have what they have in stock. And same as if you got a bunch of used locomotives, maybe you have some old locomotives that you no longer want. Now you got DCC or something that do like Union Pacific and the real railways do. Maybe you got somewhere on your layout, you can make an old thing, get some old flex track, and make an old abandoned line somewhere, paint the track rusty, nail it down somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, and park a bunch of old locomotives on them, dead locomotives on them. Make a dead line for your line, for dead track, whatever. So, and with that, there's all kinds of ideas you can do if you look online. And with that, I'll get on to the latest works for the Pacific Grand Western Railway, 1860, #1 passenger train. I finally got the bodies together to make the railway post office car. So I now have the 1860 post office car to go with. I got to get the brake wheels for it. I'm out of Tyco brake wheels. These are all, except for the ladders that are stock parts off of some other, I'm not sure where they came from. And these ladders and the roof walk, everything are just out of the parts bins. But the bodies and the chassis is all original. Wheels are all original. I got to put metal Rapido passenger trucks on eventually. And unfortunately, I'm out of Accumate couplers and coupler boxes. So I got to wait until I get some money for them. But the padding's all there. I just have to put the coupler and coupler box on, and then screw the hole to attach it to. But that's the postal railway car for the Pacific Grand Western Railway 1860 passenger train. So I've made that up. And this is all kit. These are both kit bashed Tyco bodies, all kit bashed. And this here, out of the parts, from having the two pieces left over from making the postal, I had the two passenger sections left over. I decided to use one end that was good for, whoopsie, my parts for underneath. Gotta watch that. Sorry about that. They go for underneath. I made some couple of pieces here for rebuild my underneath. But out of the pieces that were left over, I had the chassis and the trucks left over, and two half pieces. I cut one down. I cut the end out of another scrap car I had, put in there, and I made an outside car for people can outside and sit outside and stand and sit outside. Again, I got to get the Tyco brake wheels for each end, and again the Accumate couplers and coupler boxes. But using up the pieces, again, you don't have to throw them out, throw them in the scrap bin. You can make another car out of them. This is an open air car, so people can sit outside, can smoke, and they can sit and talk to each other. They can sit and watch the scenery. And these seats just come out of some long time ago. I bought a bunch of stuff out of eBay that had a bunch of scrap parts and pieces in. I salvaged the seats, and I was going to put them across like they are. Unfortunately, this being an older 1860 car, is just a tad narrower than these seats come out of. So I decided to put them in this way and just detail up the car a little bit there. But again, rather than throw your parts out, this is I make the other pieces underneath. I got to glue these stands on. But this is a open air car now to go with it. So that now gives me 10 cars for the Pacific Grand Western Railway passenger train. So now I can go to work on the 1890 Tyco passenger cars. Let me put these in the car. I'll put them on later tonight. And again, speaking of Tyco, here, ladies and gentlemen, are three Tyco Chattanooga 280 steam locomotives. This particular one, let me push him in line better. This particular one is the tender drive models. This particular one is is all completely stock. It runs perfect, everything. I'm missing one stock handrail for it, but everything else is stock on it. This is how they come when you buy them. This is a stock 280 tender drive locomotive. It's all running. So if people want to see what a 280 one is, say I'm missing this one handrail piece. That'll come a piece eventually. I might even have some in my stock in Surrey, BC. But there. So again, this is another Tyco 280 Chattanooga steam locomotive. But this one, having it Well, it's okay, I guess. Oh no, my body's a bit needs to be tightened down. Okay, screw needs to be tightened in there. Not enough. But this is a oh body come apart. Okay. This is a 280 Tyco, but I changed cab on it from a Tyco 460. As you'll see, it says the Hooterville Cannonball. I changed that, and I put another front on it. This is a smoke box door off an Athearn rotary snowplow. Fitted perfectly. I gotta find another headlight for it eventually. But that's how you can do it if you got another locomotive. You can change them up. You can change the cabs, change them around. I built the handrails for this one. But again, this one all runs perfectly. I just got to fix that and put a bigger screw in so it holds it down. But there's a option you can do with the Tyco steam engine. And this one is the same thing with a Tyco 280 Chattanooga steam locomotive. As you can see, I closed it. This is the original Tyco cab, but I built out of Skyrene. I closed it in with the cab. I closed it in, made a Canadian style consolidation out of it. I also, these ones, if you see them, pardon this step, it's got what they call a switcher step. This is a switcher pilot for switching, for a switch locomotive. On this one, I need some spare parts for this to finish this guy. I built a road pilot for it. And this is based something on the Canadian National that was on the 2141 that sat in the Kamloops Park when it was original. It's sort of a road pilot like that. I've added, again, this is an Athearn smoke box front with a bell. I think this was a Bachmann headlight. I'm not sure. It was, again, out of the parts box. And as you can see, I made Canadian style handrails out of brass on it. Whoops. My step. I need to find another locomotive because I need to replace the cylinders. The crosshead here is broken, and I also need the other the back piece of the step piece, bottom piece for the boiler. So I'm waiting to find another locomotive. Then I can get this one. But this one is a tender for it. You can see I cut the front end off, getting it ready for making a tender for it. Eventually it will get a Vanderbilt tender, eventually, maybe down the road, I'll say. See, this one's a tender drive, I might have to leave it the way it is. Thank you. But eventually I'm also going to put a oil bunker in it and make this one an oil burner. So that's how you can do it. I'm closing in the cab, getting ready for the couplers. But this one, I've got it running. I rebuilt the motor, everything. It runs good, but I'm missing the little metal pinion gear that goes on the end of the armature shaft that spins all the other gears. And I thought I had it around, but for some reason, apparently I don't. And I also need the other side rods for the left-hand side rods, fireman side rods for it. So I need to find another locomotive around for parts, then I can finish this one off. So that's a couple of the items on the workbench. So this one I gotta tighten his screw down. So there's the difference in what you can do with the locomotive. Here's another one of my projects. This is a Russell snowplow built out of a shop made one made out of a boxcar and things on. And this has got plow blade on it based on the Escabana, I believe it is, and Lake Superior Railway. Their Russell plow is made out of a boxcar too, but a totally different front on it. But theirs has got the half wing, so I got to put the cylinders in it to hold the cylinders. I got a flanger off of flanger and trucks are off of Athearn rotary snowplow on them, and I put metal wheel sets in them. Whatever. I had scratch built blade, and this is cupolas off of a regular caboose. I got an Athearn U-boat bell, set of horns out of the parts department, and regular walkway off of this caboose. This was a model power caboose, whatever. and this one's got its coupler on the back. I need to make the put the airline on it, make the coupler lift bar for it. And I just found my cleaning up the other day, I found my square tubing. So this is the front coupler. So when I put the cylinders in for that, this has got to be drilled in and it's got to be mounted in there. Then I'll have a front mounted coupler. And this is actually a working KD coupler. So I'll have a working coupler on the front as well. So that's another, it's got to be completed project. This one, whoopsie, put together, I'm working on is going to make into, this door does slide closed. At least it did. Well, it did at one time. Okay, I'll have to get that thing. Whoopsie, couple of Bowser, working on my Bowser Challenger. Couple of, don't want to lose them. Them on top of the Bowser Challenger. And these are wings for the side for this thing there. So this is going to be a weed sprayer car I'm working on. I'm scratch building the window stuff in it. And this is just an old box car that was, I got to cut the door out and finish making a door for this side to it. And these are hand steps are off of Roundhouse. These are Roundhouse passenger car steps. These are metal out of the old days, 50s boxcar stirrups off steps. So this is what you can do with, again, what you can do with used boxcars. You can make snowplows out of them. You can make a weed sprayer out of it. And this is a headlight off of this other Tyco 080. And it's got the bulb, everything in it. I can wire this up and light it up. Just another spare diesel horn out of the parts box, and a vent out of the parts box, and some vents stuff out of the parts box. So that's shaping up to be a weed sprayer car. And this one I'm building is I'm making him to be a railway tree chipper for chipping up the trees, and you push it along the line for clearing the line. You can throw all the old tree branches and dead trees and stuff going here to be chipped up. And I have stuff in this right at the moment, parts and pieces in here right at the moment. Gondolas are good to hold on the workbench. This was two Tyco hopper cars that were broken up. You can see I salvaged the steps off of other ones that put on here to make them replace them. But these are two Tyco hopper cars I kit bashed to make the thing. And this goes behind it. And I'm going to be making a cover shroud that can be bent up and down that will blow the stuff will hit it. It'll blow into the hopper car so it'll when they chip it, it blows out into the hopper. Is what the idea is. So this, again, got two broken cars. You can make one out of the two. Oh, these were the bottoms off the car. Somebody had bent them differently. So, but this is a chipper unit. I'm going to put some flapping in there. This is just being made. And I was looking out, going uptown one day. There was a company in our lot here at our apartment buildings. They had a portable chipper that they tow behind their truck. Had this winch system on it for lifting up the bigger tree trunks and logs and stuff to put in the little chipper. So I thought, well, I had all these pieces and stuff left over. So I decided, I made this up. I got a little slot. I sanded in there, ground in there, thing there. I'm putting this, eventually I'll have some string over it with a little bit of chain where they can, same thing. The crew can lift up the thing. The guy sits here and runs it. There's the little controls, everything. That's why I need a control panel. Then I can put the electric wiring from the control panel up into the motor. But they'll be able to run it. They'll be able to lift up the bigger logs and slide them in. They chip up, throw it on the rail. So again, this was a scrap passenger car, a freight flat car that had the steps broken off it. So rather than throw it out, everything else was good. I put the back end off steps off a caboose on it. The steps off of old smashed up tank steam engine on the front. I got the brass airlines on this one. I've discovered if you're going to make airlines on your freight cars that you're going to be using, you want brass ones more than the plastic ones. And this is I made a kit. This is the back end of a Cox grater cab. This is what I used to make that out of. I got 2 Cox graters, and I made this based on an article that I think it was in a model railway book. I made this tractor I made. So I made a freelance rail tractor that goes on out of 2 graters. I took the grater cab, cut it off the back here, and turned it around so it goes forward. So this way is forward, and this is back. And it can ride along the rails and moved boxcars for an industrial siding. It can move the boxcars around. I'm just waiting for a few more detail parts. I need some windshield wipers and headlights for it and the backlight for it. Then it'll be finished. And these are the fenders or a Noxzema lip balm the cover that was off that Noxzema lip balm. The cover off it. These are what I cut down to make the fenders. And they just fitted the thing. And of course, the 2 graters, I dual the tires up to make dual tires. So out of the parts out of that one, then having the back end and the other motor piece, I used it for the motor on here with the handrail. These are just ordinary locomotive broken handrails. I cut down to and sorted the fit with sort of the other pieces and parts out of the scrapyard. Scrap box or store parts box, however you want to call it. And there is the Bowser Challenger I'm working on. I just finally got the tender is a monogram big boy tender. I got Bowser all-wheel challenge conversion kit for it to convert it to power. But there's the Bowser Challenger I'm working on. And I just got done putting a CAN motor out of a broken Canon printer. I got hooked up in here, so it now runs and drives. I just have to fix these, change these around on the front here so they swivel better. I have newer ones, replace these, and a couple of parts on the front here. Then I'll be able to put the body on, and then I'll be able to finish putting the body on, and we'll have a running Challenger. Oh, come on. It has the spring. You have to get into a hole in the boiler, bottom of the boiler here. Easier said than done when you're on camera. Come on. Oh, come on, get in your hole. There you go. So, because the motor, the original motor for this Challenger ran, but it didn't have any, I think the motor was too weak on it. The spring magnet was just too weak, and it would not, it would just drive the back, it drive the back set, but it didn't have enough power and torque to spin the front set. With that motor, it has a lot more torque, and it now runs both drive wheel sets with lots of oomph. And another thing I'm working on, you may recall some of my returning videos, may recall I made a Tyco ST24 put onto an Atlas ST24 chassis. Well, this is the same thing. This is a Tyco ST24 mounted to an Atlas chassis. I got to get the rest of the drivetrain. I'm out of drivetrain parts. That'll come. And this has got a Tyco GP20. Bring this along a little bit. GP20 cab on it to make an ST24 low nose. So this was, it's all Tyco, except for these handrails. These are all the Tyco stock handrails on the side of it, front and rear. I had to make the side ones because of the shape of the hood and everything. They never made a ST24 low nose, so I made my own front handrails for it. But that's, I have all the windows and everything to go with it. And I'm eventually going to fill in these slots. I have the evergreen styrene stock to do it. I just haven't got around to doing it yet. And again, I got to get more coupler pockets and couplers to mount to put the couplers on it. But then I'll have a low nose Atlas Tyco low nose SD24. So that's on the workbench. And another one coming up. This was a Lionel GP30 body I got complete. But unfortunately, I'm missing one handrail. I don't know what happened to that. I don't know. I thought I had it originally when I bought the body, but for some reason I seem to be, this one seemed to have disappeared on this side. I haven't found it anywhere on my workbench or on the floor or anywhere. So I am not sure whether I actually had it and lost or whether I didn't have it. I thought it was all complete when I bought the body. But this is, again, it's a Lionel GP30. This one's mounted onto a Kato GP35 shell, and I'm using the Kato 35 fuel tank. It's pretty similar to it. So, whoopsie. So what I'm looking for is I need the Kato, this one. To some of the GP30s, they came, like, I forget the name of the railway that did it. They ordered theirs on the, they traded their Elco units in, so they put them on the Elco, came with the Elco trucks under them instead of the EMD. So this one, I want to make it with Elco trucks. So I got to find a Kato Elco unit I can get trucks out of. I looked up on their parts site. I can get them, the Elco trucks for it, but I also need 22 bucks a piece for them. But eventually I'll get the trucks and this, the rest of the Kato parts to get this one up and running. And again, I have all the lights and everything. It's just for some reason or another, this one handrail disappeared somewhere. But okay. The other ones I'm making, these, I got a set of them. This is a lifelike FP40 shell mounted onto a Atlas FP7 chassis with the lifelike. I got, as you can see where I glued go with, this is JB Weld. This is the original Atlas truck covers. I cut the side frames off and I glued new with super glue. I put them on attachment super glue, then I backed them up with GB Weld. But this is the newer EMD trucks for Blomberg trucks for the F40. And this is the lifelike fuel tank complete. But I took a lot of cutting and modifications to the frame to get that on there. I had a heck of a time cutting all that bottom of that Atlas fuel tank off to make it fit. And I've also had to drill into the body to make the mounts. It's not the way I'd really like it, but it holds it on there. So that is F40 lifelike onto an Atlas FP7 shell. You could get away with leaving just Atlas FP7 tank if you wanted to. I just got ambitious and mounted Tyco chassis to it. I mean fuel tank to it. And again, this is a lifelike FP40, and I wish all of them were in this yellow. I stripped the paint off it, and I wish all of them were in this yellow. And all I'd have to do is paint the red on it. It'd make it a lot simpler. Again, this is this one's on the original shell. I just cut it down, and this is using model power trucks. As you see, this is on the model power trucks adapted to it. Again, I cut the side frames off the model power, and these are the trucks off the EM lifelike F40. And again, I attached them to the model power trucks, and there's the made a F40 PH out of that one, on its original chassis, but different different trucks with a model power drivetrain. And this one is again another lifelike FP40 that the shell was in pretty rough shape. It was broken at the back here. I had to glue it all together. But looking it over, rather than it was missing the front steps and a bunch of stuff, it was a rough shell. But looking over, it's on its original chassis again with the Model Power drivetrain. I think I'm going to have to go in and do some work on these trucks so they swing a bit more. I don't know. I'm going to try it out on the test track first. Again, I got to have the. This is a CP Rail pilot on the rear. I got to put the thing on. I'm starting to put the detail handrails on the sides, everything. I still got to put the handrails up the front and then put these on. But this one I'm just working on. But this one I made into a cabbage car. It's what they call a non-powered control unit, but the railroaders call them, rail fans call them a cabbage car. So I got the roll-up door on the side. I need another door, matching door to put on this side. It'll come. And then I was looking on the internet again, and I seen some of the Amtrak Cascades. They took the fuel tanks off them. They put the skirting on them. Now, this is not the same skirting as the Amtrak Cascades cabbage car, but again, it's my line. So again, I made up the skirting, and it covers up where the fuel tank was. So it again, my line, my skirting. And again, this is the Model Power trucks with lifelike truck frames glued in. You can see how I reinforced this one. Did a little bit differently. But this one, it's supposed to be a dummy, but I did power this one to go behind. And I have 4 Athearn passenger cars, 2 coaches and a diner. And I'm thinking about putting a lifelike full dome in the set. Then I'll have this one for the rear end locomotive, if I can get another thing, and this one for the front locomotive. And I'll have a short line passenger train for my my line. And this one can pull the regular line. I also have 2 more shells. One's a Bachmann and another lifelike F40 that eventually I'll get powered up. And I got one that's on a Model Power shark nose chassis I'm putting together, but I got to splice in the frame to finish it and get some parts. Then I'll have a set of F40s to pull the regular modern passenger train. Then I got these 2 for a set for a commuter passenger train. So, and this one's another combine build up. This was this one's on a stock. Oh well, thing popped off again. I gotta fix that. Pushing me out. But this is on a stock Model Power FA chassis, and I modified the fuel tank to match FA1. So this is a Tyco, not Tyco. This was a Lionel. Come as a Lionel rail scope set with had the rail scope set, and their locomotives when they come out of the factory, their noses were way too short. They weren't thing, and their windows weren't properly either. The windows were all different. So I had to cut the window out, change the window frame around, and I took the 2 units because they're dual unit in the rail scope. I cut the front off of one, then the front off the second one, and drafted it to it to make it a longer factory proper size snout on it. So this is an FA1 Lionel on a Model Power FA chassis, complete running, and I made this one as a repowered unit. This is a set of grills. I forget what I got them off of. I forget now. I think they might even be walkways off the thing. But this is an EMD set. So this is raised up to make it look like they repowered it. So this is a repowered Elco FA1 unit. So that was on the workbench. And another one I kit bashed up. This one is AHM C-liner, or FM, yeah, FM C-liner on AHM. And this one's on a Model Power FA. This one's on a shark nose body. Well, shark nose FA chassis, a Model Power Roco, all the same with the Roco complete Roco running gear. And I added stirrup steps to it because for some reason or another AHM didn't. So there's an AHM F liner, C liner on a this is put in, mounted on a Model Power Roco chassis. And again, this one all runs. The next, as soon as I get the layout running, you'll be seeing all of these, exception of the Canadian cab Tyco steam engine, until I find that little gear and some parts for it. It won't be running on the layout, but I'll have some of these others to put on the layout to run, to try out. So this one here, yeah, it clips in the same way as the normal. So I think these are all got, these two I got to raise up the couplers just a little bit. They come in just a little bit low, as you can probably see. They're just not that far, but they're just a tiny little bit low that they could maybe be raised up a little bit. So for that, ladies and gentlemen, I just thought I'd show you what's happening on the Pacific Grand Western Railway workbench. And again, folks, if you got older locomotives that they're broken, or plastic locomotives, something you don't want, look around online, look at what the real railways have done, and watch other people's videos, like V12 Productions. He's got a lot of good videos out there that show the stuff for the Norfolk Southern, because he's in that area, Atlanta, Georgia. He has covers a lot of the stuff on Norfolk Southern, in their yards and terminals and their training facilities and everything. And you can get a lot of good ideas watching some of them things. And if I can just find a Bachmann chassis back that's got a good steps are not smashed up on it, I can cut them off, splice it together, and I can make the steps for it. Something similar that the Canadian National just had theirs set on stairs like that lower, but this one was actually up a bit on a set of cement stands each side, and eventually I'll put all the handrails around it, but I need the other piece to go with it first. Then I can close everything in, link it up, then I can make the stand, and then I can put the handrails on. But again, there's stuff you can do rather than throw out the old broken shelves, the same as your freight cars and stuff. And again, this one is a kit bashed caboose. Whoopsie, that's just a spare broken coupler. I keep the old broken couplers and I use the knuckles off them to put in for spare knuckles. But this was again was a flat car that had its steps, everything broken off. This one I put new ones on, but the steps are broken off it. The rest of the car was good. I had lots of these Bachmann cabooses that are a dime a dozen. And then I had, this is the front off of AHM River Rossi gondola snowplow. And I put the three of them together, drafted everything on there. And this one's got its roller bearing trucks. And then I made scratch built the handrails. This is a step back end off a caboose, an Athearn caboose. And so again, Athearn E-unit, what the heck do you want to call them? GE U-boat bells. That's a cow scale bell, and a horn out of the part box, and a Sinclair antenna on it. And this is a rolling caboose. This one's pretty much almost done. I'm just looking for the windshield wipers. Get some windshield wipers for it. This one's got its coupler cut bar, and it's again brass air hose, everything on it. So I just got to get a couple of little windshield wipers I can put on the front, and this one will be complete, ready for painting. And again, if you got lots of extra parts and pieces, maybe some broken up flat cars, rather than throw them out, build them up. It's something to do on the thing. And this is the body is attached with two screws at the back here. So I take those two screws out, and this caboose body comes off. Eventually down the road for putting the windows in. When I put the window, paint it, put the window glazing in, then I can screw the body back on. So again, it's all things you can do on your layout for parts, pieces, whatever, rather than throw them out. That you can make all kinds of other stuff out of them, like the real railways did, make work cars out of them, whatever, like the real railways did. So that's one thing about being a model railroader. There's all kinds of things you can do with the stuff, and you don't actually have to make it exactly to the way Norfolk Southern did, or the way Canadian National did. It's your railway, and if you don't have a wide nose diesel, then use the conventional like I did. Use what you got available. That's what the real railways do. they want to make something, they don't go out and buy an old locomotive. They go out to the dead line and pick a locomotive off the dead line and haul it in and chop it up and make what they want out of it. So with that, that's pretty much. And this here, I'll give you a brief up here on the back. This is a little, for those of you, this I've had running around the rail one. This is a little, I call it the critter. This matches off the Milwaukee Railroad. Made one of these to run on electricity. They have a power cord hooked to it for pushing their little Joes in and out of the roundhouse hook up. But this one, I couldn't make it exactly like the Milwaukee Road because I made this on top of this was a Lionel. This was actually the power truck out of this locomotive. It was brand new. It was a nice power truck, so I greased it all up, and I made critter on top of that. So this is a little critter that runs for pushing the cars in and out and around. This one again, I just got to get headlight for the rear, and this one's pretty near ready for painting. It's almost done. And this one is an old Airfix rail bus kit that I got, and I motorized. I weighted down and motorized. It runs, so I just got to finish up a few things, and it can be finished. This was, I'm not sure who makes this one, was come out of a bunch of parts and stuff I got. Was just an old English or German or whatever passenger car that I decided, well, for the heck of it, I made it up to run as a companion for this one. Or if you get too many passengers for a rail bus, they can grab the passenger car to go with it for the overflow. This was, again, another come out of parts pieces. It was all in parts and pieces when I got it. Was a wooden, old-time wooden caboose. I got fixed. I need one front handrail for it to complete it, finish it. And I got to paint the truck silver. But this is in my old-time red and it gets dusty in this apartment. Red and brown passenger freight car colors or caboose colors. The new ones are going to be yellow with a red roof. Or this will be yellow with red windows and red roof. This one here is a Bachmann caboose. I'm detailing, super detailing. And this one here was a ye old Huff and Puff bobber caboose. This one is completely finished. I should get it off, dust it off, and put it away in a box. It is completely finished. And I should actually touch up the coupler lift bars. And then that one is finished and running. And I may paint truck under it silver. I'll see. But all my freight cars, cabooses and passenger cars, even these, are going to get silver freight trucks. The passenger engines are going to be like this one. We'll get silver trucks as well. The freight locomotives like this one are just going to get black trucks. But all the passenger engines, passenger equipment will have silver trucks. And the railway like these ones, the maintenance equipment trucks will get yellow trucks. Red bodies with yellow trucks. Just for the keep them for the all maintenance equipment has yellow trucks on them. So, but here in Canada, unfortunately, Canada has banned all the hobby spray paints now. You can't buy any more the Tamiya or any of those testers or anything more spray paint in Canada, I think, or the Rust-Oleum has testers now, but you can't buy any of that in Canada anymore because Canada banned it because if you spray it, it might kill everybody. So I got to wait until I get down to the States with my girlfriend to where I can go to the hobby shop and buy all my freight engines, freight and passenger engines are going to be this color, US UP Armor yellow with a red cap and red stripe on them for the passengers, and red and yellow for the freight engines. So that's thing, but I got to wait until I get down to the States so I can buy the paint, the Armor yellow paint, so I can spray. But I do have a spray gun, and these are going to be Armor yellow with a red roof. All my passenger cars will be like this, Armor yellow with red roofs with a red stripe down the windows for all the old ones and all the modern ones. But this now completes my, once I get the couplers on them, they're all weighted, everything, the weights, everything are on them. So now I got them other parts, I can finish making the under these things under here, these belly rods under it and thing. So that'll complete my 1860 Pacific Grand Western Railway, the number one passenger car. So make the number two will be Tyco 1890s. Then I'll go up from there as they got some roundhouse, smaller roundhouse passenger cars. Will be train number three. Then I have some bigger ones. Will be up to train four. I'll go up as I get the different size car, more moderner cars. I'll make up from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to the modern ones to go behind these two. And I do have the, say, Atherton, two Atherton coaches and an Atherton diner to go between them. So I got three right now. Then if I can get I do have a Lifelike full dome I can add to the set. That'll give me a 4-car set between these two, 1 and 2. That'll give me a commuter train for the line. But I just got to find another one of these roll-up doors, and it's from some kind of a building kit. Again, it came in my in a parts lot off of eBay, so I have no idea where the heck they got that roll-up door. But I'll find one eventually. Put it in this side, then it'll have its doors. Then probably during the while, I got all the handrails. I just hung them up here. These little bag. They come in a bag of 100. These little handrail steps. These handrails, they come in a bag of 100. So I got them to put up the front of the nose here. I got brass to make that one. So eventually I'll get them on here. And eventually these ones I'll replace all the handrails with brass like I did on this one. Like I made my own brass handrails up for the ends and everything. So this one, as you can see, all the front was smashed off it. So I found another shell at the local hobby shop last time I was there. He just had a broken shell he sold me. So I gave me the front and this other step I needed to complete this one off. So now this one's all, the body's all complete. I just got to put the detail parts on it and eventually detail it up again. Maybe do a little bit of cleaning on it, surfacing, and find the other door. Then I'll have another passenger train. So with that, I think these were precision scale, I believe they were parts. These things are the little steps. So that was a handy out of the hobby shop. It's hard to get detail parts down here in Toronto as well. There's not that many detail parts in the hobby shops down here. You have to basically order stuff online. So that's another reason I'm looking to get south to be with my sweetheart. Well, be with her and her daughter and be with my sweetheart. And I can do a lot more railroading down there. So I can get more supplies and get out and do more rail fanning and help out the channel a bit that way. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. If you can like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for to be notifications. And if you can support the channel with a like or a comment, or buy me a coffee, or through the PayPal, whatever, it'd be greatly appreciated. And to those who have supported on me through Buy Me a Coffee, I greatly appreciate your support. And subscribe. But, I need all the subscribers I can get now with YouTube changing their rules and everything around. It's making it really hard on us small channels to get ahead now and get going and get monetized. So I need all the subscribers I can get and all the watch hours I can get to keep up with them. So with that, from all of us at Pacific Grand Western Railway, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.